hello and welcome. Guys, hello and welcome to the
and
Liberia TV
emerging
Network.
politician,
Former President of the University of Liberia, Student
a
Council President, is
revolutionary
right here
emerging
at
politician,
the
any
Senior
other
Intellectual
a
Forum, which is the
revolutionary,
Center for
not the normal
Institute.
traditional
Right
politician.
there on Kerry Street. If you are following us from
So
anywhere,
let
you want to
me
say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Please
appreciate
can you
the
quick and like, comment, and share on our
platform
YouTube channel.
for inviting me as a student leader, especially ones who represent the over 25,000 students at the level of the University of Liberia. You know, the University of Liberia is a place of academic and politics, national politics, the party's ground, so to speak. And many of you here are testament that those who have been privileged and opportune, at least 80 to 90% who have occupied national position in national government, the University of Liberia has dominated. And so the University of Liberia, in my mind, is the macrocosm, as you normally say, of the largest society, academically and politically. And on our generation, we want to remain on our path to always be true to power and sharpen contradiction. Because we think that is our role, and the student community remains the most conscious terrain in every given society. Yes, it's unfortunate that many of our veterans leave the student community, enter the national government, and forget to practice what they learn. And it becomes a contradiction. You are testament to that. They did all of their manner the way to the town battleground. They spoke against ills in society. They challenged government, they challenged administration. They intellectualized the debate during their reign. But today, many of them have been in government, are in government, and will continue to be in government. But as a new progressive student leader, some of us will be questioning that contradiction, because it makes no sense that you went under the tutelage of your political party, taught you to stay on the side of the people. You agitated for the better living condition of the people, for better academic environment, conducive learning environment, years back. And you had the opportunity, because there is a belief that we have that as conscious-minded student leaders and revolutionaries who have read the theory and understand governance fail to lead and take charge of the state in various ministries and agencies, and political buccaneers and Jika fleets will take over the state. So that is why we always put our eyes together, our thought champion, and ensure that upon our advocacy, that the masses in society will see us as the alternative. But from the past generation, over 6-7 generation, since the foundation of politics that love is of Liberia, our veterans who have passed through the rank and file of student activism at the level of the University of Liberia and probably other universities, who have entered in government, have missed the mark. Have missed the mark. Today they are the one questioning us. You can imagine that. That is an irony. And the only reason why they are questioning us, because they now sit on the table And they are benefiting from the state resources. And so we see it being hypocritical. And that's the message today. Followed by the current status of the University of Liberia under this government. And even the days of Charlie King, the University of Liberia has not approved. There were people before us who mounted the podium, who got involved in student activism. And nothing changed. And even now, nothing has changed. And so some of us, it baffles us what's the reason. And some of us have realized the reason why. That with all of the advocates since 1970, at the level of the University of Liberia, even as a country, things still remain the same. And as I said earlier, those who participated in active student politics have been the one presiding over the state, making the state they don't practice what they preach. And on our generation, we are here to erect the checkpoint and provide the contradiction. Because we have not gotten the privilege to enter government, unless it happens and we follow suit. But so help me God, if the opportunity is being provided to some of us who will not follow suit, and that's why we are raising the red flag, that they don't have the moral rectitude and political rectitude to question student activism at the level of the University of Liberia. Because they did worse than us, and they use the student community as a conduit to enter a national government. Today, they have no regard for the University of Liberia. When last any of you have seen what a past government, or since you've been in existence at your age, you have seen some of those national leaders, ministers, representatives, one of you, directors, you need them, you are one of them, that participated in student politics, graduated, got scholarship, came back, went in government, and decided to go on the grounds of the University of Liberia and make contribution. Well, a challenge for me, for the past 10 years, I've been following student politics. I've never seen that. The days of the CDC, and even now. That's the debate. That's the debate against them. And we are calling upon the current student community to take that debate. Whether it is your veteran or not, it is about your institution. If an institution is still a discipline in you, at the level of the University of Liberia, it will give you the doctrine that you must take over the state and preserve as bureaucrat over the state and provide a way forward for the masses. And such opportunities have been given you over the years, and you abuse it, and you want to question those of us who are in the space now trying to erect the necessary checkpoint because you feel you have power, you have money. We want to say that on this generation you will be condemned and you will be put on the political pedestal. And we will intellectually criminate you. That there will be no autopsy we put on your remains. Those veterans who are questioning us now, that is the debate. Because, as I said, you don't have the moral you make nothing less than 5,000, 10, 15,000 lawmakers. You have all of the opportunities. When last you ever saw any of them going at the level of the University of Liberia to say, as a veteran of the University of Liberia, I hereby donate 5,000 worth of chairs or 2,000 worth of chairs, or I hereby donate a bus that costs about 15 to 20,000 US. When last, and today we are questioning the government, administration, and past government that have also been questioned by student leaders. And you want to condemn us. So as the moderator said, we were asked to come and give a comparative analysis about the past regime, the CDC regime, and that of the current regime relating to the status of the University of Liberia and in terms of governance of the country. When it comes to the CDC at the level of the University of Liberia, like each and every one of us here follow their policy. It is not strange. For me, personally, what I did recognize from the CDC in terms of policy at the level of the University of Liberia were two things. And I want to appreciate the then government by that. One has to do with the online registration, the e-portal, standardization of registration. Many of you that seated, they have graduated from the University of Liberia in the 90s, the 80s, 2000, when there was manual registration process. It was the CDC that introduced the digitalization process when you register online. And we want to appreciate that. It's continuing at the level of the world that we do. It may not be 100%, but in our mind, we have somehow alleviated constraint in terms of the registration process at the level of the world that we do. The next thing they did was to introduce the free tuition policy at the level of the University of Liberia to reduce economic burden and constraint on citizens and challenging students at the level of the University of Liberia, because the University of Liberia is a state-run university, it's a state-owned university. The state must take charge and provide policy as per Article 17 of the Constitution that mandates the states to provide education for its citizens in a mass. On the contrary of the CDC, that I do recognize personally, after said policy, the next thing the government should have done was to create the issue of infrastructure development, because said policy created a floodgate for most students to have access at the level of the University of Liberia with the minimum fees. You had an option to attend the University of Liberia or Cotton, UMU, AMU as per your own economic status. That's what the CDC government did. But unfortunately, They were now far-sighted to have created a space for more accommodation for the citizens. Because to create a free tuition policy, it means that the University of Liberia was a place of attraction for tertiary education. That was just fair enough, but they did not look in that direction like what the former president did under the Labour Party government back then. I normally refer to it as the Labour Party episode 1 under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.